And joining me now is Pamela McCoy with Bonafide Credit Consultant. And thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk with us.
Oh, thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
So we're talking about money and handling your finances in what is arguably one of probably the most difficult times when a record number of people have filed for unemployment.
Yes.
What's the first place that, what's the first bit of advice that maybe you can give to people who are dealing with reduced finances and trying to, make all of those dollars stretch?
I think probably the first thing is mindset. When you are stressed and overwhelmed mentally, it's hard to even get in a place to even think about or talk about money. It's something that's going to have to be talked about, but I would say, probably the top of the list is mental health and PMA, as I like to call it, positive mental attitude. So you kind of got to get to that space first, knowing that these serious issues do have to be tackled.
Yeah, there are essential workers that are still working, but there are a lot of people who are just really struggling right now. And, what do you say to those folks and how to, maintain that positive mental attitude?
Well, they're saying, make sure that you're exercising, make sure you're staying connected with your friends and family, those kind of things that might not seem tied to finances, but they really are, because they help you with your mental health and getting you in a mental state, of peace and resolve, because even though it's said 1,000,001 times that worry doesn't change anything, when you're in the midst of it, that's not really what you want to hear. And it really falls on deaf ears. And so I think staying connected with your friends and family and feeling that love back and forth during this very difficult time will help. And then, again, unfortunately, you're still going to have to address the financial issue. And so with that, the top of the list, I did a Facebook Live a couple days ago, and my 2 walkaway words for the listeners were prioritize and preserve.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is whatever income you have, and the stimulus checks should have started arriving for some. When we get that money, we need to prioritize how that money is spent. It's not like a heyday, all of that. We got to think about tomorrow, because in this case in particular, we have no real idea when it's going to end.
Right.
And so with that stimulus check or monies that you have coming in, you need to prioritize, make sure, shelter is taken care of, make sure family's taken care of, make sure you have food, make sure you have health insurance or coverage or medications and those kinds of things. And then after those essential things are taken care of, if you don't already have an emergency fund, how about today is the best day
to
get one? And
I guess
taking leftover monies and put it in an emergency fund. Hold on. That's what the preserve comes in, preserving cash, because we don't know how long we're going to have to sustain.
And this literally speaks volumes about why financial experts always say you gotta have a reserve. It may not be the best time for people right now to hear that, but it's a good reminder of why we need to have some stuff stowed away.
Oh, absolutely. And even coming out on the other side, it's a lesson that we've learned for those who did not have it. Now is not the time to beat yourself up, coulda, shoulda, woulda. You can't unspill the milk or unring the bell, as they say. And so, like I tell my clients, this day forward, when you know better, you do better. And so now we know what happens when we don't have those emergency funds set up. And so the stimulus money, that once those essentials are taken care of, the remaining money needs to be put aside.
Sock it away. So positive mental attitude, preserve, and what was the other piece?
Prioritize and preserve, which will allow us to prepare.
And that's right. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much, Pamela. We really appreciate you taking a few minutes, and hopefully people will get an opportunity to, review this and learn something out of that.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.